Hey guys, it's about that time for an Eddbud live stream. I think this is live stream 11, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about, well, viewer questions. I've been building up the miles over the last few weeks, so today's video was all about run streaks really. One of the viewers, Chris, that running guy over on Strava, I often see him there and sometimes in the comments here, he let me know I was on 57 days. I didn't quite realise just how many I'd done. So that was pretty crazy. So I'll take some questions in a little while. Let's just see who's heading into the chat. If you are just watching on the live stream, please head over to the chat as well and you can talk with us here. I know Frank's been in here for some time. Frank LaHulia, he's been in here for ages, and a few other people. Frank, I do agree with you about the naming conventions. They are incredibly difficult to understand sometimes. I know that the Adidas Adizero Pro and the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro, I mean, then you've got the RC20, you've got the SL20, there's loads. Very strange. Kevin Scott is in the house. How you doing, Kev? We've got Rob Weatherall, good to see you, Rob. Stevie76 is here. Roadrunner Reviews is here, good to see you. Jonathan Jogs, should I go for a run today? Yes, go for a run after the live stream, Jonathan. However far you want to go, just do it. Not a Nike thing, just get out there and do some running. We have Mark is in the place. What's up, Mark? Good to see you. Joe Mullin is here. James Nash is here. Joe, this live stream is dedicated for you because I know you've missed, or you were missing the live stream. I had a bit of a problem with the camera here, the A6400. It wasn't working very well yesterday at all. Actually, after I filmed the stuff for the vlog and then edited it, I went to turn it back on and it wasn't having it. The battery had given up. I think we're okay today. It's looking fine. It's looking all right. We've got James Nash is here. Adam Small is here. Hello. Kim Lauriston is here. And Cheese Ear is here. Sup, Cheese Ear. We've got Frank is here too. Defelde is here. Gavin Braden as well. We're all having a good Monday, Gavin. It's been a good Monday. We had some lovely baked potatoes earlier on. A little cheese. We had some vegetables, some beetroot, even some radishes as well. I like radishes, they were good. Really good. Joe Mullin says, forget shoe names, they must spend weeks trying to name the new foams. Yeah, the new foams, but nothing for me at the moment beats the energy rods. Man, I really, really hope that I get a pair of the Adios Pro. Adizero Adios Pro, so I can experience the energy rods. Just sounds like something out of a nuclear power station or something, doesn't it? We have Bach is here. Hello, Bach. How you doing? I think he's on it's day 8 of his run streak. Last week was a 30-mile week. Awesome, Bach. That's fantastic stuff. Well done, buddy. Mr. Jemson says hello, Ed, and Beast. Beast is here on the carpet, just sort of chilling out, doing Beast stuff like cleaning herself. That's what she's doing right now. She looks like kind of like a furry slug. She's just sort of collapsed on the floor. Mr. Random is here. Hello. John Eaton says, evening all, have you got your name in the draw for the Adios Pro? I do, and I'm feeling lucky. I'm going to shake the dice like the gamblers do. And yeah, I'm feeling lucky. I don't think I'll get them. I hope you do though. The chat's going a bit crazy. Let's pull it back. I can't follow. Everything's going a bit wild. Mano is here. He says, hey Ed, the other day you were doing a certificate in autism. Check out people like us, a craft brewery in Scandinavia whose employees are all on the spectrum. Amazing. That is really cool. Inspiring stuff. Yeah, the certificate that I did was really good. It was quite intensive. I had to do quite a lot of work over a short space of time, but it was really good, and it really did expand my sort of vision and my understanding on the different things that someone with autism can experience. It was really, really useful. Really satisfying doing that. He says Novablast or Beacon. For me, the Novablast was a superb shoe for nice, easy running. Logging those really nice, slow miles. The foam feels really great under the pads of your feet. So for me, it was great for that. The Beacon is a little more versatile. I kind of like the fact it's a little lighter in terms of weight. Where is it actually? It's here. I've got the Beacon 3 here. I want to get back out in this one again. The reason it looks so clean is because the last time I wore it, I got absolutely saturated. It was like the worst rainstorm I can remember for ages. And this thing got absolutely drenched. So it had the positive thing of like cleaning it off, and it actually looks kind of new again. But yeah, this is a little more versatile for me, the Beacon. So that would be how I look at that one. Roadrunner Review says he loves radishes. They are. I like the crunchy texture of radishes. They're really nice. Frank Lahoulier, is naming foams a real thing, or is it just marketing? I think some of them are actually quite similar, the foams, in terms of how they make them. Ones that stick out for me that feel a little different is Light Strike. That does feel a little different. And also, the other one is the way they formulated the foam in the Saucony shoes, where they've kind of got those small beads and compressed them together. That's very different, I feel, to Boost. Really different. So it seems a lot lighter to me. Steve Whitty is here. How are you doing? Gavin says, great Monday for me is local bakery is reopened. Oh, I'll tell you what, Gavin, there's nothing like getting a nice loaf of bread from a local bakery, is there? It tastes really good. DTD3CEBU, I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that. Any shoe comparable to the New Balance TC? I need another for my training rotation, maybe Endorphin Pro or Speed. I think perhaps the Endorphin Speed. The Pro feels quite different actually to the TC. It is a little bit more rigid. The TC is just super squishy. Kind of like you're leaping on top. It's kind of like you're a running Mario leaping on top of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's head. That's kind of what the TC feels like. Okay? I've managed to say that without smiling or just collapsing with laughter as well. But that's how it feels. Gatcombe says, evening all, evening to you. James says the Adios Pro look gorgeous. He really wants a pair. I know. I wasn't bowled over, but I am going to try and get a pair of the Adios Pro. Do you mean the Adi Zero Pro or the Adios Pro, Joe? Do you mean the one, the higher stack height one? Because I think they both look quite nice in their own way. But of course, there's been a few reviews for the Adi Zero Pro, and people aren't really digging them that much. So. Jacob Rees says nuclear powered shoes. Yes, that's what we need, some nuclear powered shoes. I'm sure Nike are working on it. Adam Hamilton says, hey Ed, you recommended Infinity Rack for easy runs. Could I use these for long runs too? Yeah, I don't see why not. This is a great shoe. Do you know the React in here? I'm convinced it's different to the Pegasus 37 stuff. I'm convinced of it. It just feels so different underfoot. Really different feeling. I don't know what they've done. You could use that for a long run. I don't see why not. As long as you get the sizing just right. With that shoe, some people found that there's a bit of slip. There's a bit of heel slip in that, in fairness. I've experienced quite a lot of heel slip in that shoe. And when you cinch the shoe down to keep it tight around the top of your foot, it really sort of dug in to my foot there. Guys who are in the chat, if you haven't already, it would make a massive difference. Really helps the channel out if you hit that like button. Really does help us out a lot. And it's free of charge to hit the like button. It's like a smile. It's free of charge to smile. Curtis Lost is here. Hello. Johnny, we all need those crazy energy rods. Everyone's after the rods. They all want energy rods. Correction says Adidas, as Brad Hall says, Adidas. is like the LG smartphone of the shoe market. They release 30 models just to see what sticks. They all work well enough. Yeah, kind of true, really. T. Davis says, "What's up, Ed? I'm definitely interested in the the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro. It's just crazy. They just need some different names. It's just too hard to try and remember what they all are. Probably won't get the full potential out of the shoe, but I'd still like to try them. I'm quite intrigued to see what that Carbitex plate. Yeah, so there's that company, Carbitex, that have been making the carbon plates for that shoe and other shoes too. I don't think Nike has the same carbon plate in their shoe. Joe Mullen says, "You're right, I was saying Adidas kind of lost touch with their top tier shoes." The high stack one. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think that one for me, actually, Joe, is the one that I really want to try out with the energy rods. Let's try and make sure I don't miss anyone here. Soupy Runs is here. Good evening. Apologies for missing the start. Soupy, you don't need to apologise. It's good for you to be here. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That running guy just missed the run streak video. How many days are you going for? I'm probably going to go for 100, Chris. I'm going to try and go for 100. You kind of inspired me with that video today. I was thinking I wanted to do the Speedrift review today, but my legs were just barking at me right from the start. Got out of bed and thought, this isn't going to be a good day to do a new shoe review. I need to let the legs recover a little bit, and I'll probably do that one tomorrow. So tune in tomorrow for the New Balance Speedrift review. That'll be coming up. But I'm going to go try and hit for 100 maybe, and after that the small Eddbud will appear, and I'm not entirely sure it'll be easy to keep the run streak going after that. Eddie Vickers says, "What's your opinions on the Hoka Carbon X in 2020 for someone who's used to wearing Hoka Rincons?" The Carbon X is a good shoe. You will find, Eddie, that the midsole is quite a bit firmer than the Rincon. I found the ProFly midsole and the Carbon X quite firm. I did switch out some other insoles into that shoe, and it did make a bit of a difference, but still quite firm. So quite a different ride to the Rincon. That's better. Back says, "Energy rods, light strike. If the Adios Pro doesn't shoot lasers or activate a lightsaber, what's the point?" Absolutely, Back. I think it's one of these. I've got to get the lightsaber out. Oh, Beast doesn't like the lightsaber, apparently. Sorry, Beast. Let's put the lightsaber away before he breaks something. Soupy Runs. The Runfast 2 was back up in price, so I decided to wait for thinking about a pair of Novablasts. But I know it's a contentious one. Yeah, I think Soupy, you either love it or you won't. I think it's one of those shoes where it's quite divided about whether you like it or not. So I wouldn't say don't go for it. But yeah, I can see the Runfast 2 is quite a different shoe, really. A little lower to the ground, a little bit more responsive, that one. There's masses of stuff in the chat. Let's see if we can get through a few of these. So Gavin Braden, energy rods sound like something you buy from a dodgy guy underneath the motorway. It does sound a bit like that. Is it death sticks in Star Wars, where he says, "Do you want to buy some death sticks?" Yeah, it's a little bit like that, maybe. James Nash, "I've been using the Vomero 14 as this daily shoe. What do you recommend to replace it, as it's almost dead?" As a daily shoe, I don't know. If you like the Vomero, maybe try the Infinity Run. I think maybe there's a new Vomero coming out soon, isn't there? Which has got a bit of Zoom X in as well. So yeah, maybe try Infinity Run, daily shoe. That's similar to that. I don't know, a daily shoe, I'd just say Triumph 17, but it's a bit warm for that now. It's a little bit warm. If you've got any good suggestions, guys, for James and his replacement for his Vomero, let him know in the chat there. John Eaton, "You will love the Hoka Only Torrent 2. He has the ones and they're superb, very light. Yeah, I'm going to grab a pair of the Torrent 2s towards the end of this week, I think. I want to do some more trail stuff, so I've been finding going on the trails that it's quite nice. It's a little more forgiving on my ankles. I want to try and build up the strength in my ankles a little bit, so yeah, that'll be good. Thanks for your input on that one, John. I do appreciate it. James says, have I ever used custom insoles? No, I haven't actually, but I switch insoles out all the time, James, and I think I might be quite tempted to give those a whirl and see if they can improve the performance of some of the shoes that I've got. And Daniel says, hey Ed, arriving a bit late, tough days at work. Oh, I'm glad. Thanks for coming into the chat, Daniel. We appreciate it here. I hope this helps to relax you after your busy work day. Rob Weatherall says he's got a pair of Novablast coming tomorrow. Also the Brooks Hyperion Tempo, a double shoe day. I like it, Rob. I like your style. You can't wait, just need his calf to sort itself out now. Yeah, rest that calf up and then you can test out those new shoes. Let me know how you get on in those, Rob. Aidan says, what is the difference between the Adidas SL20 and the Brooks Hyperion Tempo? I think the Hyperion Tempo is not in here, but I've got the SL20 here. So light strike in this one. It's relatively firm, but I find there's a bit more give. The Hyperion Tempo feels a little bit more, I wouldn't say it feels dead, it just feels a little bit firmer. There's not quite as much rebound from it. With the light strike in this one, you get loads of rebound. But the Hyperion Tempo is that little bit lighter. I think in my size, I think, Aidan, I think it was about 15 or 16 grams per shoe. So quite a bit lighter, the Hyperion Tempo. A lovely upper on it though, very soft. I will get to 100 miles in that by the end of this week, so do watch out for my 100-mile review on the Hyperion Tempo coming up very soon. Eddie Vickers says, is it necessary to have several different pairs of shoes? I currently use Rincons for everything. I would suggest that having a couple of shoes in the rotation does give the midsole a little chance to kind of decompress. I think if you're going to use a shoe every day, certainly over some longer miles, then they do start to suffer a little bit and they do start to feel a little firm. So I think it's quite good to have a couple of shoes in the rotation. Or you can be a crazy lunatic like me and just have loads of them. Just madness, absolute madness. Mark says, I've worn 2 pairs of the Yeezys. He's worn 2 pairs of Yeezys via the Adidas straw. Hopefully it works out for the Adios Pro. Yeah, I did get through a couple of times to trying to get a pair of Yeezys. I really wanted the linen ones recently, the 350s. But then I got through and then realised that you can't buy them if you're somewhere that's not the UK, the US. So never mind. It was fun though. It was exciting for 5 seconds. T. Davis says, I think everyone hates that name. Do you mean the Adidas thing? I'm not sure what you mean there, T. Davis. Gavin Braden says he noticed that the Run Fast 2, they were 50% off last night and now only 30. It's still nuts, isn't it? 50% off. I don't know how they do it. Paul Formosa says, hey Ed, oh, I've lost it. I've lost you, Paul. Where are you? We always discussing about shoes. What about running socks? I am working on a running socks video because I've got a few extra pairs coming. So do stay tuned for that. It will be coming up soon. Rob Weatherall, were the Adidas available on the UK site? Yes, they were on the UK app only, I think. Documentary video about Kev's 100k. It will be coming soon. I've still got a schedule saying with Kev. Kev works for a company that makes signs, so as you can tell at the moment, they are absolutely chock-a-block, knocking out signs, obviously for all the new, well, the shops that are reopening after the lockdown. So he's got to make his cash while he can. So I will catch up with him soon. He's just a busy man right now, I should imagine. He's probably working night and day to try and get all the stuff done. John Eaton says, yeah, love the Hoka Torrent 2s. Awesome. So yeah, certainly looking forward to trying those out. GK Master Locksmith says, "Hey Ed, are you still digging the Asics Glide Ride?" I haven't been out on the Glide Ride in a while actually. The only problem I'd have with the Glide Ride using it at the moment is that it's quite a hot shoe. There's quite a lot of upper there. There's quite a lot of padding, and I think it would be a little bit warm right now where we've got these slightly humid temperatures. So I really struggle in humidity. I've just been going out in the short shorts and a vest most of the time, and I'm still warm. So it's a good shoe, but just perhaps not for the current kind of temperatures, for me at least. Defelde says, "Will you start doing reviews on baby shoes at some point?" Congrats. Oh, I see. Yeah, maybe if I can get hold of some. I have been asking my daughter to do some reviews actually. She's got the Revolution 5, the Nikes, and I've been trying to get her to do a review of those. Maybe I'll get her some Pegasus 37s and she can do a kid's review. Someone who's 9 years old, they can tell you how they think of those. In fact, I could get her those and get her to tell me how the air unit feels in the ladies version. That's a good idea. Gatcom says, "What's the best carbon shoe that I have run in?" Best carbon shoe for me still to this day is the 4% Flyknit. Love that shoe. That was a really good shoe. Super light, super responsive. Really like the upper Flyknit. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah, I have seen that, Frank, that some people say that there's academic papers that suggest that you're less prone to injury if you rotate shoes a little bit. I think that's very valid. That running guy says, "Hopefully I'll give you some more video ideas in my Strava comments." Yeah, thanks for that. I did appreciate that earlier on, buddy. Richard Rendell says, "Hey Ed, are those New Balance Speedrift do you have light?" I think in my size they are just over 300 grams. Not massively light, but I think most of it is in the midsole. There's not an awful lot of weight in the upper, apart from the leather pieces. Don't know why there's leather pieces on there, but it's interesting. Runners Talk loves the Novablast. Liam Bennett says, "How do you get the Runfast 2 so cheap?" The Reebok over here just do crazy deals, Liam. They're just always cutting the price. Gavin Braden says, "Star Wars theme Poe was a runner of spice." Yeah, a bit of a dark history for Poe Dameron. No one saw that one coming. Cheesy says, "Have you changed the Runfast 2 insoles?" I think you said you might try that. Yeah, I did switch them out, but then I noticed, I've got them here actually. They're really weird, the insoles in the Runfast 2, if I can get them out. You can see they're kind of like, got this weird bobbling. Sort of like, they're like curved pieces on there. Can you see that? They're really odd. And they've got information up in the top. There's like runners' times on there. Very strange stuff. I think if you put in a flatter, thinner midsole, flatter, thinner insole into that one, it might be quite firm. Might be quite a firm shoe. Roadrunner Review says, "Novablast or the Bondi 6?" I haven't tried the Bondi 6. I know there's a new version coming out in the not too distant future, and I wouldn't mind testing that one. I really wouldn't mind testing it at all. Bondi 7, yeah. I want to test a ridiculously highly cushioned shoe just to see how it feels. James Nash says, I have to look at them. I think he's looking out for the Runfast 2 maybe. See if we can catch up with the comments a little bit here. So Liam says, "Is Ultra Boost 19 a pass the time? Want a lighter shoe but one that can do everything. Any suggestions?" If you want a lighter shoe that can do anything at all, maybe the Beacon. Try the Beacon out from New Balance. Nice and light, and yeah, I think you'll like that one. Very, very light compared to the Ultra Boost. Paul Marson, you were correct about Reebok giving away their trainers the other day. They had 50% sale, which also let you combine a 35% student code. Wow. Run Fast Tea for £36, that's amazing. John Eaton says, have you run a marathon? No, I have not run a marathon. I intended on doing a couple of marathons this year, but alas, that's not going to happen now. A couple of reasons, obviously. I don't think there are going to be any marathons this year. I can't see that occurring over here right now, especially with sort of rises in cases and things in certain places. And other reason is I don't think I can commit myself to doing the really long runs required for in the training for a marathon, as I've got a little person on the way soon. I simply won't have enough time to be able to do that, but also be a good dad and be a good husband as well. So I need to scale that back a little bit when that time does come. So that will be something for 2021, I think, for me. Just being realistic, I think, about what I'm doing there. Chris, that running guy, says he used to use custom insoles, but never again. They knackered his knees. That's not good. What type? Which ones did you have, Chris? Let us know. Manic Mike's here. He just made it. Was watching Attack on Titan. Awesome. Good to see you here, Manic Mike. Hope you enjoyed the film. Steve Whitty, he's got a second pair of SL20s arriving tomorrow, but a half size up. He's passed the originals on to his brother. Awesome. Have I tried any Mizuno shoes? No, I want to try some Mizuno shoes. It would be cool to try some other brands out, actually. Oh, Soupy was really upset that he didn't manage to get his Run Fast 2. There'll be another sale really soon, Soupy. You know it. They can't stop themselves, those Reebok guys. Jacob says he's got some Mizunos, extremely durable. He's only tried one pair though, but he does like them. Manic Mike says Nike just lost over $750 million this quarter. That's a lot of money. Wow. Frank Lahudia says, what are you going to be doing with autistic kids? I'm a teacher, Frank. I teach IT and computing, and very often we have some people with the autism condition, so it could be all sorts of different issues that they run into. So it's really good for me to be able to know how I can help them learn in the most positive and effective manner. So a really useful thing. Samantha Jenkins is here. Hello. How you doing, Samantha? I hope you're doing all right. Hope you've been out running today. Eddie Vickers says, if you had to run in one brand of shoes, what would it be? If I had to run in one brand of shoe, Saucony. I could probably do most of the stuff I needed to do if I had the Triumph 17 and the Endorphin Pro. There you go. Joe Mullin says 82 watching new record. I think that was it's probably close to the record, Joe. Noel S says stance socks for the win. Yeah, I like stance socks. They last pretty well. Got my first hole after 2 years. Yeah, mine are looking good. They have compressed a bit, Noel S, but they're still hanging in there. They wash really well as well, stance socks. Runners Talk says video with your daughter, nice idea. Yeah, hopefully I'm going to be able to see her very soon. She lives in London with her mum, and obviously we've had to be really careful because my wife's pregnant as well, and they've put some new advice out about that actually. That people who are in the third trimester have got to be super careful and still distance themselves. So you have to be super careful there, obviously. That would be a cool thing to do, to do the sort of the review video with her. That would be really cool. Runners Talk says no tips, Ed. I'm not sure What you mean there? Bogdan says, "Hey Ed, are you using any extra energy gels?" Yeah, for training runs, Bogdan. Bogdan. I tend to take one with me. If I'm doing a 10 mile, I'll take one. If I'm doing 15, I'll take a couple. So I tend to use them maybe after 4.5, 5 miles, something like that. I don't really get on that well taking loads of water with me. I don't like carrying loads of stuff around with me when I'm running. Obviously, sometimes you've got to, because you need water, you need to hydrate. But that's what I tend to do. James has preferred shoe out of the Zoom Fly 1, 2 or 3. It would have to be the Zoom Fly Flyknit, so the second version, the second iteration, with React and the full carbon plate. That one for me was top notch. Although I really liked the original one. The nylon plate in there just felt like it had a slightly different snap to it. It's a little firmer. Yeah, I like that shoe. Rob Weatherall, not sure if I've lost it. I've lost you, Rob. Where have you gone? Not sure if you're going to get the Alpha Fly if the only colour is the watermelon option. Yeah, they releasing that soon. I did see an image of that somewhere. Samantha Jenkins ordered some Saucony Endorphin Pro for the hill near where I live, 3 kilometres long and 330 metres rise. No rest for the upgrading. Yeah, I really actually enjoy hill training now, getting up hills. It really does improve your overall kind of capacity and helps you think about your cadence a little bit and your breathing. John Eaton says, is the Run Fast 2 comparable to the SL20? I think so, yeah. They're quite sort of lower to the ground shoes. Run Fast 2 and the SL20, I think they kind of live in the same sort of zone. One's a little lighter than the other. Not by much though. Yeah, they're both in similar places for me, I think, those shoes. Weatherall says the Endorphin Pro or Alpha Fly. Let me think on that one, Rob. Let me think on that one a little bit. Bogdan, how would you compare the 1080 V10 with the Beacon 3? Beacon 3 is massively lighter and snappier and a little more nimble for me. The 1080 was a good sort of long range shoe, just like a daily shoe. But the Beacon's got a little bit more about it. It's a little bit more versatile, Bogdan. Rob says, do you think any races will happen this year? I'm just looking down through the things there. It says the Munich Marathon has been converted to a 30-kilometre race. Odd. So just seeing that it says Aloha half, Aloha half and the Edinburgh Marathon have been cancelled. Yeah, I don't think we will see any races. I can't see how they'll do it. I want there to be races, but I think in terms of the safety of everybody that's taking part and all the hundreds and thousands sometimes of those volunteers as well, I can't see it right now. I want to be positive, guys, but I can't see it right now. I think more likely to see a trail race than a road marathon. I just don't see what will happen. Rob says, will you curb your running when Baby Bud arrives? I may have to curb it a little bit, I think, Rob, to be realistic and to be reasonable as well. Raymond just came in from a 4-miler, first time in the live stream. Almost. Awesome. Thanks for popping in to chat with us. Adam Small says, no races for me. So those are 2 cancelled I mentioned a moment ago. CP runs, will the new arrival curb the quality of new shoe purchases? I think it probably will a little bit. Although I might try to get some get in on some good deals, CP. I think that's the way to do it. Steve Ace here. Very good evening, Ed. Good evening to you too, Steve. Looks a lot cooler this week in the shoe sanctuary. Oh, it was mad last week. It's much cooler today. What temperature are we at? Let's have a look. It's about 16 degrees outside now, so it's much cooler. I think it's probably about 12 degrees cooler than it was. I was baking hot. Mr. Random says, what's the first drink you're getting down the pub this weekend? I've got to be honest, Mr. Random, I'm going to carry on doing exactly what I have been doing, which is my workplace isn't open as of yet. I can't go to it. I can work at home, but I shan't be heading to the pub with Mrs. Eddbud and the end stages of the pregnancy now. I shan't be chancing that. I can't do that. Mr. Germ said if I did, it would probably be a very cold pint of cider. That's what it would be. Mr. Jemson says, are you going to try any other light support shoes other than the React Infinity? I know there's Saucony always put in a little bit of support here and there, don't they? So maybe the daily version, is it the Shift? I think it's the Shift, isn't it? Maybe I'll try that out, the Endorphin Shift. Kevin Scott says he was in for Edinburgh Half. Is that very recent news, guys, that the Edinburgh Half has been cancelled? Alexander says, what is your favourite cake? This is a good question. Favourite cake? I think I would have to say the last flapjack Mrs. Eddbud did, which had, I think, some apricot in there. That was really good. Does that qualify as a cake? It's like a bake, isn't it, I suppose? Ninja Miles says hi. Hello. Mark says believes the Alpha will come out this week in the US. It'll be fun to grab that and the Adios Pro. Crikey. That'll be an expensive week, Mark. Joe Mullin says I should create an Eddbud Runners group for Facebook so we can all chat and get to know one another. I think that's a very good idea, Joe. I'm going to launch the Strava group a little later this week, so maybe I'll try and do that at the same time. So they all kind of launch at once. Gavin Braden says for the Run Fast 2, would you go true to size or half down? I'd definitely go true to size in the Run Fast 2. I felt the Energy 2 as well was pretty much spot on for me in terms of being true to size. I'm losing it. I'm losing it, guys. Mr. Random says a lot of shoes dropping this week. Saucony releasing 3 shoes, Adidas 3 shoes. How can we keep up? I don't think we can. It's just impossible. It's too much. It's too many shoes. Manic Mike says PO Box. Manic Mike, email me to the Gmail account, which is in the latest video description. Liam Benner says, thanks for a recommendation on the Beacon. I was an 11 in the Ultra Boost, so I have a wider foot. Yeah, New Balance come up small. Yeah, I'd go half size up. Although the Ultra Boost as well, some people like going a half size up in that as well. So I certainly would go a half size up in the Beacon. Give yourself a little more room. They are quite nice and wide, the New Balance shoes, though, so I don't think you'll cut my cropper there. I think you'll be all right. Joe was saying we were at 87 at one point. It's crazy numbers, Joe. I'm glad we're rocking in there. He's keeping an eye out. My stats man is keeping an eye out. E. Brown says, New Balance Beacon version 3 coming out when? Well, this is the weird thing. It seems like you can get it. Here it is. You can get it here in the UK, but I don't understand why they've not released it anywhere else. I really like this colourway, actually. It reminds me, it's kind of snow, blizzard, and then the light coming through from a small cottage, maybe, here. Yeah. And then this is the densely packed snow here, and the footprints. There we go. I was gone then. Did you see that? I was miles away. Joe Mullin says Hamburg Marathon is going ahead. I did see that one was still happening with some special measures. Daniel P says, do I use the Strava app on my watch or the workout app? I don't use either of those, Daniel. I use iSmoothRun, which is really cool. You can program in loads of different sessions that you want to do, different distances, different intervals, stuff like that, and then you can get them across to your watch, and I just go out with the watch most of the time. I just find that one much better, easier to program than the other two apps. There's just a little bit more there. Samantha Jenkins says, you helped me to decide to get the Saucony as I need stiff shoe, less wobble than the Nike Next Percent. Yeah, it's a little more sturdy. It's a little more like a old school running shoe, a more traditional running shoe, Samantha. I'm really glad that my video helped you out to make your decision. John says, will you keep in a display case your old favourite running shoes? I know, I kind of like the idea of that, actually. Yeah, maybe the, I think my 4% Flyknits, I'd like to put those in some sort of display case, actually. That would be cool. I'm going to be doing some renovations in here in the shoe sanctuary soon. Not knocking any walls down or anything like that. I'm not getting the sledgehammer out and, you know, extending it or anything. I just want to do some paintwork and get some new furniture and things like that in here to spruce things up a little bit, you know. So maybe I can do that then. James, Mr. Adams says the Saucony Triumph 18 is dropped. Oh, what? Another shoe? No. When did you get the Triumph 17? I got the Triumph 17 back in January. That's too many shoes. What are we going to do? Adidas have got 3. Saucony have got 4 by the sounds of it, because there's a Triumph 18 coming out. This is madness. There's a new colourway of the Alpha Fly drop-in. This is just crazy. Got the Vomero to come yet. The Beacon's coming out in some other places soon. This is crazy. What are you trying to do to us, shoe companies? You're going to bankrupt us. James says the New Forest Marathon is looking hopeful for September. That's good news. Let's hope that does happen. That's not far away from me. Bogdan says, Ed, I have to drop off. Just want to congratulate you on the baby and also tell you I enjoy your videos. Bogdan, thank you very much. If you're still watching, I appreciate that. Mr. Ram says the Rutland Water Marathon and half are still on at the moment. So I think there's quite a few races. People are kind of hedging their bets a little bit. Chris says, hey Ed, I know you replied to my comment on the Novablast vid, but thanks again for recommending the obvious fix, swapping the laces. Yeah, I think swapping the laces in the Novablast is a little secret weapon there. I'm glad that helped you out, Chris. John Eaton, what's the most amount of food you've eaten after a long run? I often have pasta. I have to say popcorn ice cream. John, the most I've eaten was actually probably yesterday. It was quite terrible. I decided that I did really want some Chinese food. So I had some salt and pepper chips, so salt and pepper fries for you in the US if you're watching, and vegetable chow mein, and just ate a lot of food. A lot of food. I was very hungry after yesterday's run. We're catching up a little bit here. Roadrunner review says Triumph 18, are you kidding? Chris King, I think that Shift and Speed are out is it the start of next week, I think, so very soon. Amado's in the house. How you doing, Amado? Dig the very content. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it fresh, Amado. Some shoe stuff, some running kind of base stuff. Trying to just mix it up a little bit. Really enjoying the music reviews at the moment as well. I have got a new album. I might do a full review actually of that album, as I'll tack it on to the end of one of the videos in the coming days. I'm glad you're in the house to see you there. We got Steve A. He says, Ed, what do you want to take on a marathon distance? Whilst you can go UK, don't discount the way the marathons, in particular the majors. Yeah, I'd love to do full marathon distance, but it's the training, Steve. At the moment, it's just really tough, and will be even tougher to be able to ratchet up the miles even further. And I need to be about and help him with some other stuff. So I will do that in the future. Kim has ordered the Beacon 3s. Awesome, I think you'll enjoy those. Rob Weatherall's just realised he's missed a video earlier on. Don't worry, Rob, you can always watch it after this. Kevin Scott, that's made me laugh. He says he hopes that Rob disciplines himself suitably. That's funny, I like that. Yeah, not too much though, Rob, you know, be reasonable. Manic Mike says the SL20 for $70. Yay or nay? SL20, 70, what's that, like 50 something, £50, something like that? I'd say a yay on the SL20. I think it's even worth the retail price, in fairness. It's a great shoe. It's a really great shoe. I just really love it aesthetically. And that light strike is different. I'm sure it's different than the stuff that's in the Takumi Sen 6. Adidas, tell me, but I'm sure it's different to the 6. I'm sure it is. Roadrunner says, do you think that Adidas will lend you some energy rods? I needed energy rods in my legs earlier on. Roadrunner reviews will say they were barking a little bit. They were barking like a dog. Samantha Jenkins, she says, is the lottery system for shoe sales common? No, it's not very common for running shoes. Sometimes we get draws and things like that for other types of shoes, skateboarding stuff, you know, casual shoes, but not very often for running shoes at all. Still waiting for pre-ordered Nike Alphafly, but the Saucony Pro are on the way. Awesome. Eddbud, get some more legs. Yeah, I need like some clones that I can send out, Kim, to try out the rest of the shoes. Rob Weatherall says, remortgage your homes, people. Yeah, it's our only hope. Yeah, I can imagine R2D2 projecting an image of Rob Weatherall saying that. Joe Mellon says we were up to 90 at one point. It's wild. 92 now, apparently. Awesome. John Eaton says, how often have you gotten halfway through a run and thought, darn it, I'm in the wrong shoe for the job? I got to about 10 yesterday in the Pegasus 37, and I was running with a fantastic guy. He's a local runner, Paul Card. He's a very, very quick runner as well. Paul, I think he's shooting well under 3 hours on the marathon. He is a really quick runner. So I met him, it must have been after about 8 or 9 miles, and then he stuck with me for a while, just going at my sort of Eddbud cruising speed. He was quite happy at that speed. And as we were rolling along, I said to Paul, I think going up this ridiculous hill, the 37's just not, this isn't a good shoe for this at all. It's just too heavy by then. My legs were really starting to feel the weight, and I really wished I'd gone out in the Beacons. But I'm going to do the same run this Sunday, but in the Beacons. So we'll see how they match up, that sort of 15-mile long run effort. And I might take a little more water with me this time. I was starting to get a bit famished by then. I was really in need of some additional sustenance. Brian Kerr is here. I've lost his message. Where is it? Where are you, Brian? He says, evening folks, anyone getting on the Adizero Pro drop tonight? Yeah, I'm gonna pop over there. I bet Tim Gross will be over there as well, because Tim wants to get those shoes. He's wanted to get them for about 2 months, I think. So it's fingers crossed that Tim gets them. Timothy Brammer says, another shoe, New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel, new colourway spotted this evening. Oh God, what is going on? They're really going to bankrupt us. There's too many shoes coming out. Maybe I'll have to knock out a new running shoe, yay or nay, this week, I think, to try and cover some of these. Offie L says, what kind of shoes should I use for running on a football field? I'll tell you what, on a football field, I reckon these might work quite well. The Pegasus 37, you've got some quite considerable grip there. There's loads of lugs. I don't know if you can see that a bit better. Loads of lugs on there. I think that could work really well on a football field. Or maybe even like a lighter trail shoe, possibly. That could do the trick. Roadrunner Review says, best fish and chips joint in England. If I can get over there, that is. Heard people in the US will not be able to travel to Europe for a while. Fish and chips. Let me think. There is a amazingly good one down in Cornwall somewhere. I can't remember the name of it now. It's like won loads of awards. It's that good. I'll try and figure out who it is and let you know. Roadrunner Reviews. Rob's enjoying the live stream. Glad you're enjoying it today, Rob. Kevin Scott says going to miss Kafusian Eddbud double headers. Mike and I will keep on collaborating regardless of the situation. I've had a massive... It's so good working with Mike. He's just one of the best people to work with, you know. It's really good fun. We had a really good chat as well the other day. Just chatting like two friends, you know. It's really nice. I do want to try and get over to see Mike once this is all over, or I'll invite Mike over to the UK as well, and that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. We got a super chat there, Martin Lynch. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. He says, hey Ed, what's your post-run stretch routine? So what I tend to do is lay out I've got like a rubberized mat on the floor, and first thing I'll do is like a yoga pose. Is it called what's it called? It's like a dog related one. With the back, because I used to get really bad back problems. So I do that. I go through some range of motion stuff on both legs. So foot up onto the other knee, and just some range of motion, really gentle stuff. And then just working with the foam roller a little bit as well, just so the muscles get a bit of relaxation. What else do we do in there? Just some range of motion, working on both legs, and also with the ankles, just rotating the foot either way, and making sure rehydrate and get some nutrition in really quickly after the run. So I hope that answers your question, Martin. Thanks for the super chat, much appreciated. Rob Bristol says, would you compare the SL20 to the Takumi Sen 6? Not in terms of weight. The Sen 6 is much lighter. That really is an out race shoe for me, and it's got that Cellar mesh, the same stuff that's on the Adi Zero Pro as well, so quite different shoes really. Very light, the Takumi Sen 6. Steve A says, Ed, how firm are the Endorphin Pro against the New Balance Fuel Cell? Quite a bit firmer, actually. Where the foam is quite different, it's those tiny little particles they've kind of compressed into the midsole. The Fuel Cell TC is very squishy. Very squishy, that one. Roadrunner Review says the draw's a bit like when that you have won and lost $200 at the same time. It is a bit like that. So we've just got a few more minutes, guys, before we end the live stream. I'll just try and go through and answer a few of the remaining questions here. Super Bones, have you ever used Asics $90 return option? I haven't ever used that, no. Maybe one of the other guys in the chat there can help you out. Rob Weatherall says we'll have to start donating loads of Earth credits to Ed so you can keep up with all these shoes. I'll try my best, that's all I'll say at the moment. I'll have to pick and choose a little bit on what comes out at the moment. There's so many shoes. I have never run in any exposed air bubble shoes, Manic Mike. I'm not sure how I'd get on in those. Samantha Jenkins, can you cover shoes at a full-length plate? What I might do is a full-length carbon plate roundup, Samantha, so do look out for that one in the coming weeks. Kevin Scott says, Yeovil v Chicago, I wondered who would enjoy... I think Mike would love it actually out here now, because we're out in the country, and he seems to be really loving the countryside running. Oh yeah, we'll be up taco pizza. Yeah. It'll be pizza every day if Mike came over. James says he discovered this channel through Kafuzi. Awesome. Offie says, can't tell me what was the name of the Nike runners on the left side of the screen. This is the Pegasus 37. Rob says, welcome to the shoe madness, James. When can we expect a 100-mile review of the Beacon 3? I'm working on the Hyperion Tempo this week to get that one up to 100. It's going to be a couple of weeks on that one, I think, with the Beacon 3. So hang tight on that one. Have I tried the Adizero Pro? How is the carbon? But I haven't tried that one yet. Coram Moni. Hopefully I can try and secure a pair of those very soon. Right guys, I'm going to draw this on to a close right now. I'm not sure, has Kafuzi got a live stream today? I think he probably has. So you guys can fly over to see Mike. Give him my best regards. I think I've got a bit more furniture moving to do right now, so I shall see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Do check the latest video out, which is all about run streaks, and post in the comments there and let me know if you've ever done a run streak, or if you think they're good, if you think they're bad, and it'll be great to see your comments there. I'll work through some of the comments later on this evening. Thanks for dropping by guys, I much appreciate it. I'll be seeing you.